Oh shit! New Sam Hill. Yeah, the tragic life of a lame-made savage. My father was a gangster in his brainwave pattern. Mastered the number game, I'm of the same with mathematics. That's applied to my daily life. Revelations of purpose, they can surface if you hear me right. I'm really like I can ignite the brain of children. Building through the love under Allah's pavilion. That's from inside, you wanna kill it. I'm from Claremont Village, where knowledge itself is rare. But your grandma get it. I was fitted for limitations. I was set up for failure through manipulation. I'll be the safest in my bubble. I can hang out with Naco and avoid the trouble. Stubble grow upon my boots. Bitches like it when I shave it bare. My mother bought Dominican. My shit be having baby hair. My style is crazy rare. Can break the bitch and make repairs. With the shaky head, prepared upon the microphone. I'll show you if you take me there. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to the sounds of Pariah Radio, hosted by the almighty Sam Hill and Mr. Andre Leroy Davis. Shouts to S.STREET Media, shouts to the Bronx, shouts to Brooklyn, Queens, Harlem, Staten Island, shouts to the whole NYC. A bitch will be a dick dodger. You ate McDonald's in my hood with McLodges. You are not them kids' fathers. Sticks and stones break bones, but my words can hit harder than your name on the gravestone. Sam Hill can spit lava. Your shit turned gray cause you absorbed all your copper. Stations from the age of when the chords with your chakras. The boys hit the high notes and sang like the operas. To the precincts to the DA. His baby mom sucked this man dick cause he a cheapskate. Wow. Bitch had a three-way for a couple bucks. Call me cuckle duck, he still fuck with her. The minister sucked it up, inferior with the dummy talk. Minnesota money boss wouldn't dare say my name in his raps. A knocker set the trap up just for Jason Bars. Buried next to his daughters. I could order this law firm. Grabbed him back the guard and turned his skin tone auburn. Renee, my son-in-law, teaching with love and caution. Awesome. Pariah Radio, hosted by A.O. Dre and Sam Hill. Every Tuesday on S.STREET Media from 6 to 7 p.m. Shout to the whole NYC. Yeah.
One, two, 1, 2. We on?
1, 2, 1, 2.
We on the air. This, back again.
Back again.
Third episode. Actually, let's get it straight. Third episode.
This is our third episode.
We did one episode someplace else.
Right.
And now we are here. S.STREET
Media. That's right.
Third episode.
Third episode of the Pariah Radio Show.
Brand spanking new.
Brand spanking new. And we have one of my favorite people, I would say, in here today. This is my enlightener. This is a really great man with hands of speed. Okay? We have the great Sunez Allah here going to be building with us.
You don't have the fake applause, so I got this
because this is the God, this is my enlightener, and he's got a lot of knowledge of himself, man, and just a really good dude. You really don't come across good people that actually let me tell you something, Dre. Like when I come up to class, I can tell he happy to see me.
But wait, you gotta let them know he teaches you and tells you.
This is my teacher. This is my enlightener, Sunez Allah.
Enlightener don't mean skin; it means knowledge.
Right.
Yes.
And listen, I'm gonna tell you what made me come down to school because I've had knowledge of myself, but not in the proper context.
Cool.
Right. So we have to say what it is. The colored man done brought me down to the school. It was the colored man. The colored man told me that the black man is God, and I said, I need to be around the people who really teach that. So, I hit up the 5%ers on Instagram. They said, go holler at Sunez, man. I holler at Sunez. Sunez called me back. And
here we are.
Damn it, I got me some lessons.
All right, so how deep into getting the knowledge from this brother are you?
Well, at this point right now, I got my mathematics, I got my alphabets, and he's given me quite a few books to read. You know what I'm saying? And he gave me I had to do an essay. I should read it today.
And once again, for clarity's sake, we ain't talking about gangs, not that kind of essay.
No. No, we're not talking about the Vato Locos.
Yeah,
we're talking about an essay, because if you are a student of Sunez, he's going to put you to work.
Okay.
So,
That's right.
S.STREET Media, Pariah Radio, Just want to let you know that I've grown into a proper context of the knowledge of myself.
And this is the Almighty.
I'm the almighty Sam Hill, you know what I'm saying? And I'm here with my guest, Andre Leroy Davis, man, legendary artist, man. And he keeps me in check because when I get, I get a little fiery. He could put me out, he could put it out a little bit, put a little salt on it, you know what I'm saying? We'd be all right. So, what's up with you, Dre, man? How you been doing, man?
I'm good. I'm ready to go. I have heard you talk enough in our conversations lately about this brother. So to be able to be in the midst,
Right.
get some information, hear how y'all flow, ask my own shit, I'm ready to go.
Well, the first question I want to ask Brother Sunez, right? Because I'm gonna go there. You got to understand me. I got to go there. So there is a saying in the 5% nation, right? Because a lot of people that's not in the 5% nation somewhat have issue with this. So I want to ask the question right now, because I know you're going to be honest, you're going to keep it 100. Is the white man and his counterpart the devil?
By counterpart, you mean the woman?
His woman.
Okay.
Karen?
Right. Okay. Yo, I just want to say peace, you know what I mean, to you, Sam Hill, Aldre, yo, Aldre, you're a hero, like, one of the legends.
But you can't say that shit, because he's going to get mad.
Nah, I'm saying that as a writer, you know what I'm saying? Okay. These are the people that we looked up to, you know what I'm saying? People that, everybody that was in these magazines that I was running through,
right,
that expressed themselves freely. I always looked up to, like, yo, I have to get that dope where they'll let me do whatever I want in one spot. And when I used to see that drawing, especially, I'd be like, yo, they let him do whatever you want in that one spot. Just like I said, Bones Malone is the father of my element. Right. It wasn't because he did what I did. I'm the one that really made it an element. You know what I'm saying? But he's the one that I saw writing creatively, like whatever he wanted to say in that Sticks and Stones column. I was like, damn, where I get to the part where nobody changes the shit I'm saying. You know, so that was the thing.
That's
but,
that was Bones thoroughly. Still is him.
So that's why, like, it's an honor to meet you. Like, you're a legend to me. You know what I'm saying?
Did you rate albums?
Say again?
Did you rate albums?
I did a couple. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Don't switch it.
I
want to hear about y'all. We gotta get to that.
Let me go back to the question that you asked.
Yeah,
the 5%ers, we teach and analyze the 120 lessons. The 120 lessons are extracted from the Nation of Islam's supreme wisdom teachings. So we don't believe the teachings, we analyze the lessons.
Right.
We analyze them. And it says that the white man is the colored man, the Caucasian man. Yaku's graft the devil of the planet Earth. You know what I mean? We teach that. Now, what people don't understand, though, is that when we say that the white man is the devil, we're talking about a macro reality. Right. That means that do not go punching the first white person you saw. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't live. Go to jail too. We are affected by the macro, the whole, but we live in a micro relationship. Right? Relationship by relationship. So every man, woman, and child on this planet has a right and an opportunity to get knowledge of themselves and be a righteous man. But we're going to tell it like it is, though. Right? Not everyone was here. Right? Certain people was made, and certain people did, as a group whole, as a whole group, destroyed this planet in a way that it wasn't destroyed before.
Right.
And the institution that is devilishment, that runs this whole reality, was not contrived by us, though, but it manifests out of the issues that we had.
Right.
You know, and I'm just leave it there because it's very exotic what I said.
It's going to get exotic.
It's a fact that we teach, though, that white man is the devil, and I'm saying that as someone that has taught white students. Right. You know what I mean? So I have white students that have made incredible things. You know what I mean? And teaching at a law school in Mecca. Excuse me. I teach volunteers, people that voluntarily come in the classroom. So I teach all types of people that come in, and I don't turn them away. And certain white people don't like hearing that, you know, so they won't stay inside the classroom.
Because they're the devil, that's why.
Right.
The devil.
No, but listen,
the colored man.
Listen, this happened recently, and in all my years, I never noticed it, or it just happened so violently. But there was a black man that walked in that heard about rap, and he was like, "Oh, I wanted to go to the place they always talk about." You know what I'm saying?
Was that my first day in class?
And that was you were there. You saw this, right?
That was my first day in class.
And it was the best example of how this knowledge stuff blows people away, because
that was
it
amazing.
Couldn't have been more real for Sam Hill to see this, because I had taught this so many times to people that wasn't really ready, but they asked for it.
Right.
It's like a Looney Tunes cartoon. Hey, you asked for it though. I know you can't take it, but
Acme Anvil on your
yeah,
head.
you asked for it though.
That's
right?
all, folks.
Yeah. And so I said I'm giving it a history, and I'm telling how the father, who was known as Clarence 13X, when he was in the Nation of Islam, left the Nation of Islam because he was actualizing what it said on their teaching, that the black man is God. He said, listen, I'm not going to say we're a Muslim waiting, submitting to the will of Allah, who came in the person of Master Father Muhammad. I'm going to say that I am God right now, not soon come, right now. And so he left the temple for those reasons, because he knew it would conflict. I told him, and the brother stopped me. He goes, wait. So he was saying that he was like a god, like, the many gods under God. And I said, nah. Yeah, he said he's the true and living God. There's no God above us. There's nothing in the sky. No mysterious, what I always say, no mysterious being, energy, or force that causes our reality. We are responsible for everything that happens to us and to the world, right? And he said, what? And word is bond. His head punched back.
Dre.
I wish I have rarely in my fighting life
seen
hit
that shit
somebody
with my
that
own
clean like that. It was video game clean. His head went back.
He said, so what are you saying, that God isn't? He said, no, I'm telling you that you are God. He said,
so it's like he got possessed.
His head went back that I thought he heard.
He said, I gotta go. He said, I gotta put his shit on and left.
Yeah.
That was too much for him.
Yeah.
He didn't understand he the truth.
See,
like I said in my essay, I said that the original man ego is so out of this control that he knows he's God without even knowing he God.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? The shit that he do with the egotistical shit and all this I'm like, you don't even know who you are. But they know who you are.
Yeah.
And that's why you're in the position you in.
And some, when they get the knowledge of who they are, can't handle it and get up and leave.
Absolutely. What we teach is not new. Teachings that man is God. That's in all of the ancient texts, from the Tao Te Ching to many Zen and Taoist texts, all that kind of stuff. Because what we're teaching, we say, is a truth. So it's got to be consistent with many other belief systems, spiritualities, and teachings, Sufic literature, all of that.
Right.
But the difference is that the father taught the youth. You didn't have to go through a whole, learn this through a whole 35 chambers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it's
you didn't have to go through 35 chambers,
folks?
right?
What's the issue with teaching grown
Not
folks?
throughout history, grown folks have shown that they can't hold shit.
Right.
They have shown that they have ego. They
Well,
use it for their own lust. They use it for their own greed.
Anything they know.
Yeah,
so
you know what the fuck you talking about. You don't know what you're
right.
talking
So especially in the Eastern traditions, whether you go like China and others, people learn things and they're not allowed to teach until a certain amount of time. So even like Confucius wasn't teaching until he was a senior citizen by our standards.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when the father was when the father Allah, when he was going out there and teaching, he realized that the people that were most in tune with the youth, and he focused on the youth, and that's really one of his biggest revolutions.
Right.
Is teaching the youth that teaching, and by doing that, he sets up a whole culture. That's why we dominate hip hop, because the way that we speak is going to be so dynamic and so different, And honestly, to me, I always say that layering concepts, deeper layering, the layering of deeper ideas, philosophical ideas, social, political ideas, and all that. That depth really comes from the gods.
Right.
Because if you ever work with older gods, and a lot of people ain't, because maybe me and the god, like Madden and stuff, like we're the last generation that was with like elders, like real elders. Most of the elders have passed.
Right.
And
rest in peace to your enlightener.
That's
who just
right.
passed
That's
away.
right. Speaking of, my enlightened knowledge, me return to the essence. You know what I'm saying? And he was the one that taught me, and they knew things.
What was his name?
Knowledge me.
Okay.
Knowledge me.
A real knowledge sea, like dark like meat, like this.
Okay.
That's right. Knowledge seed. Yeah. All my main teachers were knowledge seeds.
Really?
You know what I
Wow.
mean? And when these elders spoke, they had a cadence that was very hip hop. Like Wise Jamel, he used to talk like that. And he used to do this thing called mathematical build up. You know what I'm saying? And he would born all the letters in every word. He would go crazy.
Can you give an example or no?
On air, like he would born like knowledge borns. I forget what knowledge borns, because I never do all that stuff.
Right.
In fact, I don't bear witness to it though. Okay. But knowledge born God. Right. So he would do that. Like he basically take the letters K is 11, N is 14, and add them all up, and it would add it up to 7. It would end up being 7, right? And he would do that, but with everything. And he would call that the mathematical builder, but he would do it in a cadence that would be like Spitfire hip hop lyric.
Wow.
And this is way before any rap is out. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the way the guys was talking. So they had a cadence that was like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it's highly influential. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is. Because I remember as a kid listening to Brand Nubian, and I remember Grand Poopa talk about the colored man. The colored man, right? So this is where I had come into some, I was speaking to a guard a few years ago, and this is where I learned that the colored man was the white man. And I asked him, because I have brought this to your attention, Sunez, and you had gave it to me in a proper context. I said that he said that they are colored because in the wintertime they turn blue, in the summertime they turn red. And Sunez said it's not really that. It's a little bit more complicated.
Not literal.
A little bit more complicated than that.
When we say the colored man, the main reason is because colored is something that has been an action taken upon something. Something has been colored. So they are the made man. We are not the made man. We are self-created. They have been made. Things have been, they have gone through the breeding process to be made. They would not normally come about through that natural genetics like the black, brown, and yellow seed.
Right.
And when you see color through a reflection of light. So the most colored color is the lightest of colors, white reflecting the most light. So he's the colored man. Black absorbs all the light.
Right.
So if you call black a color, which you can, right? It's the color that absorbs all the light.
It's actually the origin.
But the more color the color is the more lighter it gets, not the darker.
I remember you said colored with the ED is past tense.
Right. That's what I mean. So an action has been taken upon that man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's past tense.
So basically, you used to be this, right? Like they used to be this, or could have been this.
We always that.
Right.
It was those who were dissatisfied that decide to see something else, see something else happen. Maybe if we do this, maybe we can do this can happen, And it's like, the best way to explain it is the way the Tao Te Ching explains it, if people don't understand, Righteousness always exists. People do right to each other, but they don't have to say that they've done right. They just do it. Right? It's when devilishment appears, the wrong thing. Well, what if I don't do right? What if I take everything from him and use it for myself? Then now devilishment appears, and the person that craves righteousness back is the one to describe it. It wasn't described before. And that's what that means when it says, when devilishment appears, righteousness exists. Righteousness always exists.
Always there,
but the detail of it, saying what it means. And that's why, like, in many of the ancient Taoist texts, for instance, they always detail, like, societies that have to explain civility don't have it.
So this is why when niggas be on their bullshit, we be like, you on your Yakub shit right now. You're Yakubin, and we don't even want to hear that. So I get it now. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, though, right, God?
Is that a verb, an action word? Was it?
Listen,
Okay.
Listen, there's niggas in the street. Like I told you, project niggas make up their own slang. We use our own language, right?
All the time.
So
All
dig
the
it, though, right? I come to the class. I just want to bring this up because we got to get to some things. But I want to bring this up. As I go by the school, and I come to the school, and, it's like a little meeting area in the front. Right?
Lobby.
The lobby area. Right?
Yeah.
And I come in, I'll be like, yo, peace to the gods, peace, God. The short black guy, he be like, peace, God, peace, God, justice, peace, God. I love his energy. How come the other dudes in there seem so disgruntled? I'll be like, yo, peace to the God. They be like, hit me one of these, like,
well, I'm going to keep it real. Like, nobody does that to me. They have the opposite reaction with me. They're happy I came. So the thing is, though, is that you got to put in your work. That's all.
Gotcha.
They gotta, when they see more of you, then they'll warm up to you.
Gotcha.
That's it. That's really it. Yo, me being Puerto Rican, having the knowledge of self and teaching it to school, it was the elders that were Puerto Rican, that were Boricua like me, that were meanest to me. Allah Shasha was mean as hell to me. He was so mean to me that because he expected more out of me. Not that I wasn't, but what they mean by expect more is like, well, I can't really fulfill that in one day. Like I could come in, publishing all the articles, teaching 1 million people and stuff like that. Nah, you need the years on the belt. You know what I'm saying?
Is it like a rite of passage? And
it's kind of been like that. It's unsaid, but they expect that consistency. You know what I'm saying? They expect it. And I got knowledge of stuff when I was wisdom understanding. I'm like 23 years old.
Okay,
that's an old man.
Yeah.
That's old man back then.
Right.
Like they were like, oh, but
So I must be elderly.
when I got in there, I didn't eat pork. I was already a vegan for years, and I was, I already had a family. I was stable, so they expected me to do things, and all the elders was recruiting me for this, for that, and everything like that. So putting in that work is really the only way. You know what I'm saying? There are people that are famous, like that you would know if I tell you their name, like on air, which I wouldn't because I love them. But they hated me throughout their whole life. In fact, there was one elder I'll tell you off air, but he's legendary. And he gave me problems every day where other older gods was like, nah, leave it on, because they knew I was going to hit him. Because after a while, they knew I fought. So, and about 2 weeks before he passed away, he came into my class, and I hadn't seen him for a long time. And I was like, oh, man, here we go. Because he would come to like this subtle disrespect, like if there are women in the class, he would go like, suavely kick it to them and, like extend the greetings, interrupting the class, like, shit like that. And I'm like, okay, I know what he's doing. He did all that this time too.
Okay.
But he sat down and said, you know what? This guy right here, talking about me like if I'm not in the room though, even though I'm teaching the class. And he said, I never liked this guy. I never liked this guy, but I can't deny the work that he put in. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? That's all we can do. I can't make everybody like me. You know what I'm saying? I can't make everybody really genuine like me. You know what I'm saying? But they gotta accept that work. I put that work in.
That's
Yo,
killing with consistency.
The God has slipped me a paper, some information on here, and he's explaining this. He's doing some mathematics, and the God is the master builder.
That's right.
So and I'm getting an understanding when he put knowledge, right? He spelled knowledge. The knowledge is 11, N is 14, O is 15, W is 23, L is 12, E is 5, D is 4, D is 7, and E is 5.
Yeah. So you could take the numbers to each letter and then add them up together and come up with one number, like the phatic system. This is where it comes from, the phatic system. If you go back to numerology and to one letter. The reason I said I don't bear witness to it is not because the God didn't have good bills with it. It's because I don't bear witness to us controlling the origins of those letters' placements. Like the word knowledge has silent K's and stuff like that. I didn't put that there. And as a writer, I didn't put that there. I'm forced to use it that way. So I don't bear witness to whatever it borns, though, being something that I have to say it has a meaning.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
Got you.
That's just me. But Wise Jamel saw it differently, and he built, and he was amazing with it. And he brought it to levels of understanding that people could use it. But it was very complex. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I love Wise Jamel. Remembered in Perfection. That was my big brother. You know what I mean?
Yo, you know who's remembered in perfection? Fakim Allah. Fakim, how you spell it?
Fakim, yeah.
Yo, when I look at him and and Melchizedek building, yo, it get me so funny. It be so funny to me when he say devil all the time. He be like, it's the devil. He be like, it's the devil.
Yo, man, Fakim, no, I knew him when he was Father Divine.
Okay.
And Fakim, he used to sit in my class a lot, though. So it was a real honor to have certain elders sit in my classroom because they respected the blend of unorthodox and orthodox that I was bringing to the way I taught in the classroom.
Okay.
And I've taught over 23 years there. But by the time I hit like the 13th year teaching there, I've already taught longer than anybody at the school. You know what I'm saying?
Same location.
So, yeah,
Same
so
location.
no one's taught at a law school in Mecca longer than me. And that only took 13
a
years.
round of applause for that. You gotta give him a round of applause. Oh my God.
Yo, it's an honor though, but like the people that taught there before me, those are the ones that are keeping me in there. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones that are making it easy for me. Like people go, oh look, Sunez, you do kung fu stuff like that. I'm not beating up anybody. when somebody was violent and stuff, I would willingly say, let's go around the corner. But none of these elders would have it though.
Oh, they wouldn't let
you know what I'm saying?
go,
So they would get in the
go.
middle and say, no, you're the teacher. You cannot be touching anybody. And they would, there was one guy understanding. He taught boxing.
Okay.
And they was one brother was being mad disrespectful. And I was ready. I was like, you know what I'm saying? I had my earth at the time. And like, he was being wild disrespectful. Right? And I was like, you're going to get out of here one way or the other. And he just came in, grabbed him, and just dragged him out. and threw them out. You know what I'm saying? So the elders have always been there. When I started to teach, all my kung fu brothers used to be in there to allow me to teach. You know what I mean? Because like there were many years where I taught, and I was teacher, security, front desk. I was everything.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
and the front part ain't but so big. It's smaller than this. The front part is about this big right there.
So it's a lot of years because we're a school that we don't take funds from anybody. We don't have nobody controls us. All of that.
And like I said, God, like you know, a lot of people would say, well, why you come down to the school so late? And like I said to you before, I'm gonna say again, I didn't know it was free. I didn't know, and this is not something that's you know that's said or shared in the street.
Yeah.
They just would say, "Yo, go down to school, go down to the school," and me thinking in my mind of you know paying for school and spending money, I'm thinking this is what I got to get some money up first. Until Sunez called me and said, "Just come down there." I said, "Yo, how much it cost?" He said, "It don't cost nothing." I said, "What?"
Get that free knowledge.
And I've been down
All
there.
right, so we close to like 30 minutes deep in.
Okay.
So we had other things to flow, but I think we should just keep going with the flow.
Yo, listen, man.
Spirits here. I mean, we got to obviously have him back to dig deeper.
We're gonna have him back. We're gonna have Day Son back. We're gonna have Day Son here. But this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Y'all are two journalists, right?
That's the rumor.
That's the rumor.
That's the rumor.
That's the rumor. We got the master building here, right? So this is what we said we was gonna do last week.
All right, so you want to go through? We switch. Here's two Sam joints.
Let's critique a Sam Hill joint.
All right, so let me break it down. We're gonna hear a classic Sam Hill joint.
Right.
How many years ago?
I would say about 10.
Cool. And we're gonna hear a new Sam Hill joint.
And this was made about a year or two ago.
And we are going to more or less have a live on the air
Critique it.
Write a mic review
Right.
type shit.
See if he's
because
gotten worse,
Both of
though.
us was
Yeah. Clearly, Sam Hill's skills have deteriorated drastically.
Well, listen, man, shit happens, man. You know, I smoke a lot of weed, man. Shit.
lost
What I
all
like
of his
about-
breath control.
What I like about this possible situation is whenever I have written a review, I've never had the artist there to tell me what I should
Well,
have
you know,
said.
I'd like to say the rule I made in myself when I all these years journalism.
Yeah.
Is I one time wrote a review that I was very embarrassed by, and Stress Magazine didn't publish it because they just screwed up the publishing.
Okay.
Like they actually the sheets. It ended up being on a fold sheet, and they didn't put enough, you know, on the printing press.
Yeah.
And it just didn't have, it was missing pages.
Wow.
No one ever read my review, and I was critical of the brother that made the record. I don't even say his name.
Right.
And it was unfounded because I thought he had knowledge of self, and I was curious about the knowledge of self, and I was criticizing him. And I realized like I don't even know the knowledge of self like that, and I criticized him, and I felt bad about that. And I'll tell you who it is off air.
Okay.
But when after that I was like, everything that I write, if I can't say it to the individual in front of me, then I'm not gonna write it though.
Okay.
Because you know, people think that they can say like come up and fuck up a writer. Nah, not this one.
Oh no, not this one.
Not this one.
Listen.
Right,
I remember the
surprised.
stories
You know what
in
I'm
the
saying?
'90s. They just want to
Listen.
beat up the writers. Oh, you're not beating up
Listen,
Sunez.
Wu-Tang.
Papa,
You gonna
I'll tell you a
fuck
quick
up everything
story.
you know.
Papa Wu, my brother, Freedom Allah, remembered in perfection. I
Freedom
love
Allah.
Papa Wu. Yo, the last thing Papa Wu said to me was he gave me a hug and said, I love you. That's the last thing he said to me.
Wow.
He used to call me my baby. That's what he used to call me. He see me, he goes, look, my baby. Yeah, he would be like, my baby. He used to do that to everybody. And when what was it? I'm trying to remember exactly how it was, but it was Sean Price's funeral, right? Everybody's outside and shit like that. I remember when he trended because he was telling Action Bronson that he can't be there and shit like that, right? And he went that way with Freedom was. I was over here with Low Lives and some of the guards that are Low Lives, right? And we was all together.
Okay.
And I was telling him, yo, if Action Bronson comes this way and greets y'all because he knows y'all, I'm not gonna lie to him. I'm gonna tell him that I don't really write about him very favorably because I don't lie to nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I said, I don't like this because I don't want no problems at this thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no problems at this thing.
Wrong
I would love
situation.
this to happen at someplace else because I'd be all like hype. You know what I mean? But Freedom saved me because he went the other way.
Oh,
And
so
then
if it became that way,
If he came that way, the drama would have been on my side instead. It would have been in that side. Because he don't know me, but he would end up having to know me.
You would have known you at that night.
You know.
All right, wait, but let me
that would've been-
let me
that'd
pause
been
y'all. Because if we're gonna do this, we got to play the joints.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so what's the name of the first joint? Classic.
You're gonna play the classic joint, excuse me. Poetic Justice.
Poetic Justice.
Poetic Justice. This is a beat actually that is on the Dreddy Kruger Wu-Tang compilation. It's an instrument. It was an interlude with Jim Jarmusch talking over it.
Jim Jarmusch, right?
Jim Jarmusch. I
The
said
director of Ghost Dog.
Right.
I love that movie.
Right.
That's one of my favorite movies.
You all set up? So
I'm set up.
Once you find it, we
I
can
got
go
it right here.
in.
All I can do is press play.
Okay.
You ready?
So we gonna keep our feedback shorter because
Okay.
we got probably like 20
Okay.
to go. So,
Okay, so I'm gonna press play now. Y'all be
yeah.
good?
Yep.
Okay.
Let me just note. I usually listen to shit.
We have become so degraded now that when rap started in the South Bronx, it was young black men using the art of the spoken word. They were talking to young men about the condition, not ghetto life, but they were passing on germs of knowledge and wisdom in rap. But the moneylenders and the corruptors saw money in this, and skillfully they turned it from conscious rap to gangster rap, and we began glorifying the gun, glorifying the lowest part of life in the hood.
Yo, I do whatever you can't, nigga. I hustle food stamps. I sell reefer, pussy, and if I'm lucked out, my crib would be the fuck house. But just pay your entrance fee and please tip my bitches, cause all of them are wicked. They Spanish, young, gifted, and black. I got old hoes that say I have an old soul and blessed with the dick of gold. I am multi-talented, a renaissance man who learned to play the piccolo and trick a folk. Keeping stupid niggas on their tippy toes. I scream expletives in the Latin language that was taught to me by Mexicans that don't like Negroes and be on some extra shit. But they love me though, cause I believe in excellence. Still I'm far from perfect ass, I evade the pestilence. I recognize in this evident I've been heaven sent, a reincarnation of my elder senior. When niggas start hating, I change my eager demeanor. Casually, I see people become casualties. All about the wealth, living in the false reality. Sam is not your sucker, I can spit poetic justice in public. For the streets who watch them same niggas love your show. Casually, I see people become casualties. All about the wealth, living in the false reality. Same as not your sucker, I can spit poetic justice in public. For the streets and watch them same niggas love it. My attitude can be disastrous. The same nigga you trust can have you floating in the aqueduct. The bitch you love to fuck. Plus for me when you be acting up, be in your stash spot, riding in your drop top when it's mad hot, faggot. If I'm aiming at you, tell your man duck. Cause project niggas are a bad shot. I'm Sam Hill, I represent the have-nots. Creeping through the alleys and picking at your padlocks. My mother used to feed me ham hocks, but now we're single digits playing in the sandbox. With people I will kill now when you feel, how can I say that? The streets taught me payback. It's always respected if it's never detected. Although I wanna hurt some, but niggas are detectives. I used to put effort into living reckless. Niggas play the corners as the freshest with cracks in their ass. Sam Hill keeps it pure and precious. My vivid thoughts of that image you portray will diminish on the day that you die. Casually, I see people become casualties. All about the wealth, living in the false reality. Sam is not your sucker, I can spit poetic justice in public. For the streets who watch them same niggas love your show. Casually, I see people become casualties. All about the wealth, living in the false reality. You say I look like Omar from The Wire, you a liar. But he gay, and his cover is blown. I'm more like Brother Muzone. I'm in your housing, reading books with the gun under my blazer, with the cherry bow tie and my saber. Thinking of a felonious caper that may get you taped up. Praying for the police or a Quaker to handle that. Whether I'm afflicted with glaucoma or cataracts, nothing can blur my vision or stop this here battle axe from shitting on you niggas in your habitat. And fuck if you living right or grabbing gats. Me respect whack niggas niggas imagine that I'm Sam Hill, the almighty truth. Your girl fucked me for some Nike boots and she ain't even get them, but I still spent your income on whatever I needed and then some. Bleeding venom that pumps out ice cold. Don't speak on what you might know, like if I am part white folks that is tribal, living spiteful. You niggas wear tight clothes with your feet looking like Sideshow Bob. In my lyrics you can hear that I'm in touch with God. Speak in such regard of my father or you will be barred. Yo, casually, I see people become casualties. All about the wealth, living in the false reality. Saving out your sucker, I can spit poetic justice in public. For the streets and watch them same niggas left with yo. Casually, I see people become casualties. All about the wealth, living in the false reality. Saving out your sucker, I can spit poetic justice in public. For the streets and watch them same niggas love it.
Classic.
That was a classic Sam Hill joint, Poetic Justice. Y'all heard that before, right?
Indeed, saw the video.
Okay.
Living and dying with the Knicks, man. You
Yeah,
know? But
see, he's seen the video. I didn't see the video.
yeah. Yo, you know what I always find a different thing that people do, and the way that you rhyme though, you take stuttered speeds, like if the real detail, like you're doing a lot of different speeds, but it's real subtle.
Okay.
You know, so like you'll elevate and then go faster. Like you take these pauses that are really dope. So it looks like you're gonna speed into the bar, but then you're not. You know what I'm saying? And it's very unorthodox. It's hard to do because it's really a jumping in and out of the pocket though. But it goes with the beat. It resets itself.
Wow.
And the way it resets itself is what makes it dope. You know, because the thing about it is your voice is deep. It has a deep tone.
Texture.
So when it resets, it gets in nice. You know,
Wow.
because like I always listen now to tones and
blessed.
shit. I listen to a lot to the tone and shit. You know what I mean? Like a good example, Planet Asia rhymes very consistently. Peace to the God, powerful.
Dead nice. Peace to the
Right?
God.
And he has a real warm tone.
Right.
It fills the mic. You know what I'm saying? Your tone gets on the underbelly of that. You know what I'm saying? It's dope to me. It's dope.
Thank
It's
you.
dope.
Thank you.
All right, so now you've never heard my review of you.
Not
But
at
what
all.
always has been different about you, you are a dichotomy of what I think MCs usually are. By that I mean normal on the mic, animated, hype, all over the place, crazy. That's you in real life when you and I are having a conversation. When you rhyme, you're slow paced, clarity. You flip, pimp shit with your flow. Like he said, you're in and out.
Yeah, yeah.
So you are the exact opposite of normal human beings who rhyme.
Yo, that's
what I'm
interesting
saying?
though. Like, you ever thought of like why it happens that way? Like,
I think it's because, my father was a dope fiend when he had me and all that, and, drinking, environment. And
Because that's your comfort zone.
I think it's just the way I look at life. And all jokes aside, it's like when I make music, I absorb things. It's like when people tell me that the way I absorb knowledge is really, really fast. And when I make my music, it's just based on what I'm feeling at the time. It's a lot of feelings, because I'm like I told you, my mother was West Indian Dominican, my father's a South Bronx street gangster, and I grew up confused. So once I knew how to do something, I just stuck with it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I guess from the way from my first rhyme, them dudes on 167th Street, they just gave me the confidence. Every rhyme I wrote from my first rhyme, they was on me, and it just gave me the confidence.
Because you were having a conversation when you rhyme.
yeah, because you have mad control. Like, it's real.
Wow.
nice.
You know what, man? It's just because and then growing up in the Bronx and seeing a lot, music is everywhere in the Bronx, like everywhere. But then, like I said before, in the Bronx growing up, you would see all of the rappers just come through. It was rappers just coming to the Bronx just to be in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember, like, as a kid, I saw Ralph McDaniels ride through the Bronx. He screamed out the window, was calling me. He just, screamed at the, "Hey, shorty!" You even know that was me and somebody in the future that you would have been working with. You know what I'm saying? It was stuff like that that influenced me. to really be like, wow. And then, like I said, the biggest influence, Tim Dog and Ultramagnetics, they from the same community. They from Claremont Village. But what changed my life as far as it is when I moved to Forest Projects and I started to see showbiz. And I would see showbiz outside. I just saw him on TV. This man has $100,000 worth of jewelry on. Nobody's going to touch it. Nobody's going to take it. I said, oh, shit, this is real life. And from there, that's what I try to go forward with it.
Speaking of show, peace to the God AG, man.
Peace to
that's
the
my
gods,
brother
man.
right there.
Oh,
We
that's
building
what's up,
all the
man.
time.
So that was the 10-year-old classic joint. What was the name of it again?
That was called Poetic Justice.
Poetic Justice.
Right.
And new joint is named what? And when did you record it?
Okay, so
Newer joint.
Okay, I got a newer joint called Georgia.
Georgia. Okay.
And I recorded Georgia, I would say, I think last year. So, because like I said, I haven't put nothing out in 5 years, but I've been recording tremendously. And Georgia is a song. Okay, Georgia's about pimping and hoeing. It's about whores. And when you Georgia, when a whore Georgia's you, that means she got your dick and you didn't give her no, and she didn't give you no money.
So this ain't about Atlanta, Georgia.
No, it's ain't about Atlanta, Georgia.
It's a whole
It's
nother
about
Georgia.
getting Georgia.
It's a whole
It's
nother Georgia.
about you let that whore Georgia you and you
Well,
got
see,
lie.
the important thing is, as a teacher, you can learn some new shit every day. Because I ain't know that part.
Listen,
right
you
there.
can't accept her Georgia, and you can't give her no love until she give you some money. So
All right,
that's what
so-
that's
Man, I'm going to hear Ray Charles different every
Yeah,
time.
exactly. That's what I'm thinking of.
Georgia on my mind?
I'm thinking of my mind. We're gonna have
Georgia?
Ray Charles sample up in there. I don't think that no
no,
more.
hell no, you ain't got that. All right, so I'm press play on the joint now. All right, y'all. This is Georgia.
Seeing him is the antidote for you and your camel toe. My awkward back shots can send a shock to your cantaloupe. I no longer smoke, bitch, don't ask me, do I have some weed? Indeed, I can make your pussy bleed again. Spotting where you trying, show stopping in the evening. Bitch, you know you're leaving them, attracting any new thing. I be on my shit, I had some Pakistani poontang. And fuck what you say, I can fail and find a new way. Can fuck up on a Monday, bitch, I bounce back by Tuesday. And if I don't return that bitch, I hang up with a shoestring. Marry who, bitch? I'll engage you with a mood ring. On your middle finger with a spinner in a dimmer light. A nigga like me came in your life just to make a change. I'm the electrolyte, a green light like Gatorade. Bitches poppin' shit about a quota that was made today. I'm the invisible man, I can get paid and fade away. Orderly, in your places where you ought to be. Your mother taught you that your pussy is your cause defeat. You should forget everything that you thought of me. You should act accordingly. Bitch, you ain't gon' Georgia. I can spit this for my fan page. Bitch, you only cook oatmeal and mayonnaise. The disrespect is outright. Raised to be a whore, not a housewife. Despite all the effort and sex work, the goal is to never have to fall under pressure. Your name is Emma Ann, I'd rather go with Vanessa. Bitch, you rather spend your last to make a lasting impression. I'm electric to a passerby. I can pacify any whore when I magnify. Asking why? Make you think that you acting slow. And we don't give parties, bitch, we give fashion shows. I can never hide a hoe, I'm a kaleidoscope. Bitches scream Geronimo and die when they leave me. Ain't no coming back without no money, I like lean green. You stay scheming, you a demon of the lust. I am so intriguing, to a whore becoming vegan. Hookers pay to suck a kale dick, and I'm still leaving. Orderly, in your places where you ought to be. Your mother taught you that your pussy is your cause defeat. You should forget everything that you thought of me. You should act accordingly. Bitch, you ain't gon' Georgia. I'm like this cause of you, bitch. I'ma be this way until I'm bossed up and toothless, recouping all my benefits. I don't fuck for free because I'm celibate. You said I should never show my emotions. I should always understand that I should never give her money. She gon' give it to a man. The illusion is all a scam. Examined by the ruthlessness. I am the newest shit. I'm too advanced for a stupid bitch. God broke the mold hole. You'll find a duplicate where. And if a bitch decide to leave, I'll start to shoot in the air. I could bubble to the top like there was root in my beer. Care for who? Bitch, you showed me how to make a way. Lovers in the mind, you said pussy is the paper chase. Make it from the waist, I make your sisters ski waterfalls. The knowledge given, make it bitch recite protocol. I am the overall, a therapist to your older bros. Acting like you knew that, can help you get your groove back. Orderly, in your places where you ought to be. Your mother taught you that your pussy is your cause defeat. You should forget everything that you thought of me. You should act accordingly. Bitch, you ain't gon' Georgia me.
All right, so that is 2020 2022.
Yeah, that's about 2022 Sam Hill. Yeah.
Georgia.
Nah, God, this shit is crazy, guys.
Thank you,
Like,
God. Man, I appreciate you.
Yo,
Know,
the athleticism on the beat is crazy because, like you were saying off air, the dropouts, like all the chain beat switches and shit, like,
Yo,
that's you was gliding.
Thank you, bro. You know this. It's been a lot of years in my house having my drawing pad and my notepad. The headphones on drawing, right? And because, like I said, I was into drawing before I was into rapping. So when I got into rapping, it just seemed to happen naturally. So I appreciate y'all critiquing me, man.
When you were recording that, were you still smoking weed? Because I know you done paused now. Because breath control was needed for that.
On this joint,
Yes.
hell yeah.
So were you smoking?
God bless the dead, my man Kaz. I was in Kaz studio at Mad Bass Studio in New Jersey. Kaz had passed away, but Kaz said you can't smoke in Kaz studio until nighttime. If you want to smoke in the daytime, you got to pay us $20. So I paid $20, and I was smoking when I recorded Georgia. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
For my breath control to be like that is because I've been practicing all the time. Like
Yo, the smoking thing don't always like. It's supposed
I
to
know.
not make sense, but like some of the dopest MCs with breath control smoke all the time. Like
I never
Starving B
understood
smokes
that.
cigarettes all the time, and he never not has breath control. Like it's crazy.
If you listen to Biggie Smalls, you could tell
Yeah.
he smoked all
Nah,
the time.
see, when I was in the studio and recording, and people were smoking around me, that shit just blew my breath control, and I wasn't even smoking because it would come in and get into my lungs, and I couldn't do it. So I never understood people who
Yeah.
actually smoked too and then rhymed.
Yeah,
I guess it's just the that shit is just in us, man. You know what I'm saying?
I guess it's because they smoking. Like, they don't, I don't know. Like,
I don't know, man, because I truthfully
a lot of the most athletic MCs, they be smoking. They'll get off and everything like that, but they smoke. Like Rex out in Boston,
Right.
That does shit with terminology and all that. the Great albums. He smokes cigarettes and shit, and I'm like,
wow.
yeah.
But listen, man, you know what it is.
I don't know if they still smoke, but
Yeah.
damn.
Don't
you
smoke
know-
lightly either.
But you
heavy.
know artists like to get high. I know like some people like to smoke weed, some people like to sniff a little blow, some people like
Now,
this.
see, I'm a control freak. I ain't never been drunk, ain't never been high.
I don't
I'm there
like
with
to
you,
get
man.
Yeah.
drunk. Like I took a little sip recently because I don't drink like that.
Yeah.
But because when I drink, that shit goes straight to my blood system, man. I get drunk like that. So I
And
don't
then
like.
you might get Georgia.
and then I might get Georgia. Oh my God! See, they slapping fives on me.
Yeah,
and all
you
that
gotta
shit.
use that shit now.
I had to try it.
Yo,
It fit well.
Yeah, yeah.
You used it well.
I can look at the camera. He used it well. Oh my God! I'm not.
Sharing knowledge.
You were not
Yeah.
Georgia me, bitch.
All right, so here, question for you. We usually do a topic called white on white crime.
Oh my God!
Do we want to save that for next episode, or do you want to squeeze it in with the last couple minutes we got?
I want to squeeze that in with the last couple minutes we got because I even
All right, so
screenshot.
white on white crime, ladies and gentlemen. As I say, tagline:
Right.
Don't like crackers. I like Ritz or saltines. But here is the segment: white on white crime.
Okay, check it out, Joe.
Yes.
In Utah, you know, there was a situation that happened, I would say January 4th, 2023. So let me read it for you. It says January 4th, 2023, a familicide occurred in Enoch, Utah, United States, when 8 members of a single family consisting of 3 adults and 5 children were fatally shot in their home in a mass shooting. Authorities identified one of the adults, 42-year-old Michael Height, as the perpetrator, right? Right. Height had been investigated by the Enoch Police Department for domestic abuse allegations in 2020. 2 weeks prior to killing his family, his wife had commenced divorce proceedings. Okay, my point to bringing this up, right, is that this white-on-white crime is a familicide, which means somebody killed his family and himself, right? Right. White-on-white crime, right? Right. Here's the shit that's amazing, Sunez. Statistically, right, they say that these white-on-white colored men familicides happen at least once a month, right?
Wow.
For the past 20 years.
And why they only talk about black on black crime?
Why is this not everywhere?
Yeah.
Yo, they said for the past 20 years, Sunez, a white person kills his whole family every month on average.
Damn.
And this is in the suburban nightmares. I say the suburban nightmares in the suburban rural areas of America, all over America. For the past 20 years, a devil takes out all the devils in the house. Because that's just what the fuck he felt he wanted to do. But my point to bring this up is that,
Okay.
how is this not everywhere? Because it's clearly obvious. If they could do statistically and say that this happens on average every month for 20 years, what are you going to do about it? And how is this not known so we can know to keep you the fuck away from me?
I'm flabbergasted. I can't understand how this can happen.
How is this going on?
Yes.
And nobody's saying anything about this. But it's clearly it's an FBI statistic. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say to you, Sunez, what do you think about this shit? With all these devils just killing everybody like this. What the fuck do you got to say about this?
Well, you know what though? You said the last 20 years, right? So the first thing I think is, what is the thing that changes in the last 20 years then different? And it's probably drugs. Not street drugs, but pharmaceuticals. You know what I'm saying? And we all remember they make pharmaceuticals that deliberately affect us.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Deliberately affect us.
Affect us, right.
And here, they're taking those statistics because they do want to stop that. There probably are statistics that they're trying to figure out how to stop that. And whatever pharmaceuticals, if it's pharmaceuticals, to try to figure out what that combination is that doesn't. Because that's the problem with pharmaceuticals, though. There's so many combinations that you're dealing with.
Right.
You know what I mean? The older you get, though, the more pharmaceuticals they throw at people. So they
Right.
there's no old person that takes one pharmaceutical.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if people are being killed by the parents, though, they're being killed by the eldest of the family. You
Well,
know
the
what I'm
husband
saying?
did. Well, the
Right.
husband did this
And the
one.
husband doing it, right?
Right.
That's like the head of the family,
Right.
right? Possibly the oldest. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the first thing I would think.
Right.
You know, I always think it like the pharmaceutical drugs. It's out of hand. It's out of hand, and they weaker. They're not able to take all that. So these things might be affecting them in that kind of way. And it might not be something that they're never going to advertise things that happen to them like that. They're always going to advertise things and promote things that happen to us.
Right.
And
You know what I'm saying?
that is the main reason we speak.
This is why we do this, and this is why we.
Right. And that's why
do
you're
this.
exposing
That's why
them,
we do
yeah.
this.
Always on the news about us. We just want to.
Yeah, because it's like the same thing. Like, white people always had guns, though. They're not killing. You know, why are they killing extra? Why are they doing this? Like, when white people kill each other, though, that's a problem that they don't want either. You know, other problems they don't want. They don't want them to not be breeding with each other. They don't want that, but it's happening. So these are problems that they don't want, but they happen. And a lot of these things are because of the foods that we're eating. The genetically modified organisms finally have over 20 years.
Right.
That's how long they've been out.
Right.
Genetically modified organisms. 20 plus years around that same time. And these are marked with, when they study them in rats and all that kind of stuff, marked with infertility,
Right.
Genitals in rats not forming, all of these kind of things.
Right.
So now when you see with people and now gender issues, gender identity, right? The 1,000,001 gender identities only happen because people think all type of different things because their genitals don't work the way they're supposed to. Now let's keep it real.
Right.
Nothing works regular. So all of these things to me are really the GMOs, the pharmaceuticals. We're in an unprecedented time. We never had this many drugs like this.
But Sunez, could it just be that they're just being the natural selves of devils? They just want to fucking just be evil.
I knew it was curving.
Okay, you know got the curve.
See, we got deep with it scientifically, layers. Sam brought that shit back around.
It could just be possibly that this is just their nature of devilishment.
Right. But even still, we have to say, well, how come they're not being controlled?
Yeah.
Why would it happen all of a sudden? If you told me that they was always like this in American society, I'd say yeah. Because remember, you got to think like, this is why we say the white man is a devil and they do devilishment, right? But they're not stupid.
Yeah.
And so when we say that the
stupid.
devil is weak and wicked, then they're made weak. But that doesn't mean that they become wicked. You have to do something to become wicked. And that reason to be wicked is because that's the only way that they could survive. So they know they couldn't survive, though, if they had to build this whole country up. They're not strong enough, though. But they are strong enough to make everybody else believe that they could. And they recruit those right? That's destruction of black civilization, Chancellor Williams, though.
Right.
You get the people that almost is a little bit whiter, a little bit darker, different shades. You recruit them. You say, listen, there's a new possible world I'm talking about. And you get them to build everything. You know what I'm saying? And you get them to force everybody else to build everything. You know what I mean? And you say, why? Because we're special, we're different, we're unique. And this is what always goes on. But when you see statistics that are just new, because 20 years is new, guys.
20 years is
You know what I'm saying? 20 years is new, and
Yeah.
shit like that. You know what I mean?
In the
And
scheme
in a
of things.
society like this, though, they've been doing devilishment their whole life. This whole country is built on bloodshed of the most
Definitely.
heinous kind.
Of the most.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Remember, for the U.S. to be built like this, it has to do devilishment that exceeds what the Spaniards did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's monumental. Like, you got to be super devil, Hall of Fame level. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be
First ballot.
right.
First
So
ballot vote,
yeah,
ballot.
first ballot though. So you're doing shit on another level, and then you've got to structure it. That's
And you
really
gotta
why the
structure-
British
right.
are so powerful. They were able to structure it. So when you structure all that, and you made a system of it, then you have things in place to keep everybody in check. Like, I'll give the quick example of Christmas. Right? That was always a heathen time where everybody killed each other.
Right.
But the babies are always the greatest. And so they focus on the children and say, listen, we're going to make this a holiday where you give candy to the children. That becomes the first part of
But it
Christmas.
really focuses on
Then they
Nimrod,
make it-
though, right?
Right? No, not originally though. These are traditions that get added on. And the Santa Claus. Then what takes it over the top though is Kris Kringle, not Kris Kringle, Christmas Carol.
Christmas
Because it gives
Carol.
a mentality of the Christmas spirit, and that the person with the riches could also have a time where he gives. Because if I give, I end up getting more. In other words, like we selling drugs, right? I give you a freebie, I get more.
Right.
That's the Christmas season.
All right, so
You know
wait,
what I
wait, wait. Let me cut on the gift that keeps giving because we about to be
Right.
out of here. So we want to thank first, foremost, our first guest
Our first
ever,
guest
ever.
From before to
From
now,
to
this
now.
is our first guest,
guest
That's
the great Sunez Allah, and he will be back.
Yeah, we gotta
We gotta
make sure we bring
We gotta bring it back.
yes.
Gotta bring Dayson with you.
my
brother Day.
Gotta bring your brother and all that. We're gonna have a great show.
Once again, always mad respect to the great Sam Hill, the
Yo.
Almighty.
Thank you, Andre Leroy Davis, for being my brother, my friend. You know what I'm saying? Somebody I could depend on when I need it. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause you know I be needing it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I just want to thank S.STREET Media.
S.STREET Media.
I want to thank the God Mathematics. I want to thank Sunez Allah.
Yes,
Yo,
brothers.
man, it's all good, man. You got to have you back, brother. I appreciate it.
Indeed,
man.
indeed. Yo,
No
check me
doubt.
out on the Instagram, Sunez,
Yeah,
S-U-N-E-Z.
Oh, yeah,
where can we
Instagram.
find them? Yes,
Yeah,
please.
yes.
S-U-N-E-Z, Instagram, SUNEZ7 on Twitter. You know what I mean? Go to premierhiphop.com to read my articles. Hit me up anytime. Martial arts classes if you're in New York City area. If you want any of my books, they're all on Amazon. You get them cheaper if you get them directly from me. And I also got an album out. So go to Sunez, King Kamal, K-I-G.
Mantras across the
M-A-L.
Medinas.
Mantras across the Medinas, because I'm from Medina, Brooklyn, and
That's
he's
right.
from C Medina, Chicago.
See, I didn't know
Mantras
that.
across the Medinas.
I got it
you know what I
now.
mean?
Okay.
So we on Bandcamp, Mantras across the Medinas. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
I also have a lyric book about the album. So all the
Okay.
lyrics of the album, but when I wrote about the lyrics, they became essays riffing off of them. So there's about 150 pages of essays
Oh, I gotta read that.
on the album and everything like that. And it's really poem, prose, all that shit. It's really dope. That's coming out soon too. That should be out in a week or two.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
cool,
So-
cool, man. Yo,
Yeah,
Sunez, thank you, man. Yo, you my enlightener. I appreciate the knowledge, man. Yo, Andre, yo, tell them where they can find you at, Dre.
You can find me here.
You know what? S.STREET Media.
Plain and
Fucking
simple.
right. Fucking right, yo.
Find me here. That's where the important place I be.
S.STREET
Every
Media.
Tuesday.
Every Tuesday from 6 to 7. Yo, my name is the Almighty Sam Hill.
Almighty Sam Hill.
Instagram, Mo Miller Presents, the number 7. Yo, all over social media, Mo Miller Presents, man. Thank y'all for having us. S.STREET Media, Pariah Radio. Thank y'all.
Peace.
Peace.
Till next week.